Hello, and welcome back to Writing with Witches, where two witches and a cat sit and talk about writing and witchcraft.
Yes,
And today's a fun episode because we're talking about creating chemistry between characters, which is delicious to write.
it is. I love it. It's so much fun.
Before we get into that, my name is Leona Urbanski. I'm one of your hosts. My first debut novel came out in April of this year called Fire Magic, book one of the Deathgate trilogy. My second novel, yes, I'm insane, is Fade Touched, first book of the Silver Eye series, coming out in September. And we're both putting out a book in November of short story anthologies. My co host is.
I am Nicole Autumn. I am the author of the Secret Society series that is completed. And I am also working on a manuscript that will be coming out next year. So we could just
Yes.
jump into book news. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's fine. I'm like, did I turn my phone off? I don't remember.
It was me. I'm the problem.
I was just
Oh,
saying that.
and I have a tendency to leave Instagram up on my phone. So if you heard any random noise.
No, you were silent.
Okay, good.
So, book
So
news. Go for
book
it.
news. Book news. I am like 3/4 of the way done with my manuscript. I'm nearing the ending chapters, which is going to lead to the climax. So I'm super excited about that. But I gave her a cat and I absolutely freaking forgot about it for like 2 chapters. And I was like, wait, there's a cat. So I literally had to put a post-it note to remember the cat.
I love that.
Yeah. So now I have to go back and remember to put the cat in. So book news for you, seeing as you're so
Well,
busy.
first, if you're watching the podcast, technical difficulties are the best
Yes.
because I'm in a different spot.
Yeah.
Yay. I need a new computer. Um, Book news. Yes, the audiobook of Fire Magic is going to come out. I cannot guarantee it will come out this year, however, as life has thrown me for a loop. I've got a lot of stuff going on. I am doing my best, but it will be out eventually, I promise. I have put a pause on the branded first draft because I am working on Fate Touched because I have my beta edits back from the most wonderful beta reader of all time, Nicole, and we are working through that together. And I am also still working on revising Blood Magic. So Fate Touch, it kind of has the priority right now because that is the one coming out in September. And I know I still have a few months, but I don't want to run to the post like we had with Fire Magic because that sucked.
It did.
So,
Like I said,
yeah.
and
But
I specifically bought Book Brush so we can put covers in. So Ingram will be happy because it did work the first time I used it. And I was like, thank the Lord.
yes. Hey, here's a thought.
Hmm.
Do you think you could reveal your title now since it was in your newsletter?
I did. I revealed it in my newsletter that went out yesterday? No, Friday. Wait,
Yeah.
today's Saturday.
Today's
Yesterday.
Saturday.
I don't know what day it is anymore, guys. It's
Neither do
flowing
I.
into one. But the title of my Casper reimagining is The Way He Haunts Me.
All right.
I
You heard it
could
here.
I could not remember it for the life of me. And now I'm sitting here wondering, I was like, is that the right one? The
Yes, it is.
Okay.
The way he talks me.
The Way He Haunts Me. Yes. And there's a double meaning there, but you'll see when you read it. But yes, it's a spooky story. It's
It's a very
almost
spooky story.
it is very much leaning horror romance at this point, like a horror paranormal romance happening.
Mhm. What did we call it? A horror
A horror
romance.
romance. A horror romance. Do it like Bailey's here. A horror romance. Yeah. So I completely forgot about that I revealed that in my newsletter. So if you want to get information when it happens, sign up for my newsletter, because at this point, that newsletter's been out for a month already.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah. Go check
All
it
right.
out.
Do it.
Sign up for the newsletters, people. You get the juicy gossip before everyone else.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I'm running on a lot of adrenaline right now because I just like ran up and down 2 flights of stairs within less than 5 minutes, so my heart's pumping.
That's fair. That is fair. So should we jump into today's episode, or did you have any other book news?
No, that's it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. So, creating chemistry between characters. There are certain things that you can do with writing to show the chemistry between characters. First one is subtle body language. Or not so subtle. Let's be real. You could be very, like, blunt and forward with the body language. But overall, body language is a great way to build chemistry between characters, whether this is romantic or friendly, like platonic. Like a elbow jab to the side when someone says something you don't want them to say, or those, touches on the elbow or the arm of someone when you're interested in them. So body language is going to be a really great way to help build chemistry, which we did a whole episode on how to write body language. So if you would like to know more, go check out the last episode. Plug.
Well done. I love the gesture. That was fantastic.
Well,
plug it in. Sorry.
I've done some very questionable gestures in this podcast before that you had caught that I had not caught.
I'm like, do we want to clip that? You're like, nah, it's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. So yeah, body language is a big one. Yeah.
Yes. If you want a really good example, besides Nicole's Secret Society series, and I will say I think I wrote body language fairly well in Fire Magic, but another really good example, callback to an earlier episode, is Elise Kova's Arcana Academy. Was also very well done. Not only in body language, but also on the chemistry between the characters, for sure.
Oh, yeah. That, fantastic. Another one that I'm reading currently that has really good body language is For Whom the Bell Tolls by J.C. Lynn. Sorry, it's sitting right here. That's why I had to look.
I never would have guessed.
Never. I think she does a fantastic job of writing like those subtle body language cues, like of someone sitting next to each other on the couch and their thighs touch all of a sudden. And they're like, oh my God. So yeah, I think she does a really great job, even with like the platonic ones. And she has a range of characters and ages. So I think that would be another good idea or a good example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Banter would also be another one. So having characters bounce back and forth with whether it's witty or, like dry humor, like that, even if it's bickering sometimes, that banter going back and forth, it can build chemistry. Now, I will say there is a line here of playful or even sarcastic, like banter, versus just being annoying and just egging each other on for the shits and giggles of it, but it's not giggling anymore. Like, it's just shit.
There crosses a line between romantic interest and good friends egging each other on to a dare.
To someone you just really don't like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frenemies.
Yeah. Ooh, we don't like frenemies. Unless that's the goal,
Right.
But yeah. Another one that is more like platonic. This could be with a romantic interest, but typically when you're having a romantic interest, you're just getting to know them within a story. Typically, the platonic friendships, they're already built into the story. And you're going to see that chemistry through inside jokes. Little things that they could say to each other that they laugh about or brings up some type of memory for them. And that is going to show the readers that these people have a history, they have a past together, and that will help build that chemistry depending on whatever that shared inside joke is, or whatever the case may be. You know, maybe they went fucking bar hopping and one of them decided they thought they could jump a trash can and their shoe gets stuck, so now they call each other shoeless when they do something stupid, or I don't know. I'm just like coming with something up off the seat of my pants here. It's funny, they make fun of each other, but it's there, the inside joke.
So, an actually really good example of an inside joke between two platonic friends, as portrayed in the media for the Marvel movies, is between Black Widow and Hawkeye. Mm-hmm. And they constantly are referencing back to Budapest. You don't know what they're referencing. You don't know why they're referencing it, but it is a constant back and forth between them. So that's an example of, you don't always necessarily even have to explain the inside joke. You can just be like, hey, this reminds me of this time. And the other friend is like, oh, I remember that time. Kind of thing.
Yeah, because I remember that one. They're like, you and I remember Budapest very different.
Very differently.
Yeah. So yeah, inside jokes. Another one would be just shared experiences of having those moments where characters are doing things together, or they recollect on it, or whatever. But shared experiences is another way to build that chemistry and that bond between characters. You know, trauma bonding is a thing, and that's a shared experience.
Trauma bonding is a thing. That is true. That's why siblings know each other so well.
Oh, yes. That's very, very true.
Yes. Trauma bonding. It's wonderful. And normal bonding. I mean, there is a reason people like to go on trips together. There is a reason people like to go hang out together, go to bars together. Those shared experiences are what makes a friendship, a romantic relationship, an enemy relationship. I mean, all of these shared experiences, that's what makes relationships, is going back and forth off each other, because you can't have a relationship between two people without some kind of interaction. And could you have a relationship built entirely off of text messages? Yeah, probably. But it wouldn't be very interesting. And you wouldn't have a lot of those inside jokes.
Well, that's not necessarily true. I mean, you could, but it would be a lot harder to convey in text message.
Okay, I guess you could, like, pen pals.
I mean,
fair enough.
I mean, wasn't there like a whole movie about this? Like, people just emailing each other back and forth like the whole time? It's an old movie.
Got mail.
There it is. Yeah. So it.
Okay, but in that movie, they interacted outside of each other. They interacted outside of the email exchange as well.
But did they know that at the time? Or was that after?
They found out after that they were actually emailing each other back and forth.
Oh my gosh, how romantic.
I think I remember. Was a horrible movie.
Was it? I don't remember. Like, I know that
an ass.
I knew that movie existed, but I don't remember. It had Meg Ryan in it, right?
Yeah.
That's the only thing I remember.
But yeah, she was fine. I don't remember the guy that plays the opposite of her, but the character he was playing was very much an ass.
Ew.
It was not worthy of her.
A love story.
Anyway, I say that a lot. About rom-coms, okay? There's a reason I don't watch them. Or sitcoms.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair point. Because a lot of the characters...
Say it just in real life in general.
Well, in general, they suck too. Like, to be fair.
Anyway, shared experiences. You can have a relationship outside of shared experiences, but it's going to be slower to build. It's going to be harder to build in text in a book versus having those characters interacting together in the same environment.
Yeah. So there are different types of chemistry, which we've already mentioned the three. But first would be like friends slash like lifelong friends, people that are in your life that you are actively doing things with. I knew people that go grocery shopping with their best friends. Like, you could literally, you can, I mean, we've done it.
We went grocery shopping.
Well, we were also on a trip, so that makes sense. But I mean, I know people that live in the same town, and like they're like, "Hey, I need to go grocery shopping. You want to come with me?" And they both go grocery shopping together, like at the same time.
I did that with my sister all the time when we lived in the same town.
Yeah. So, I mean, that type of chemistry, you do the most mundane things with these people, and that's what creates that chemistry and that bond is you're kind of just with them a lot, doing the most random shit. Fun stuff too, but like typically friends, you're in it with the mundane stuff, the not so fun stuff, the boring, hey, do you just want to hang out and watch TV and not talk to each other? That friends do that shit.
I mean, I would argue that romantic relationships do that too, though.
Yeah.
Because that's how you find out if you tolerate someone. Yes, you start with the big romantic gestures and then you move further on. And can you deal with sitting beside them while they're playing a game on their computer? Are they yelling at the screen? Is that going to bother you? Do you want to smack them over the head with their own headset? I don't know. That's how you find out.
Yeah.
Right? Can you sit with them and watch a movie? Or are they twiddling their thumbs going to drive you up the wall? You know, you don't know. And that is why those little moments, even in writing, is how you build the relationships. Yes, you have the big romantic dramatic scenes, but I have advocated through this whole podcast for quiet moments in a book. And that's what these are.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, granted, normally, unless you're building a story off of a romance that's ending only to start a new one, you typically don't see those boring, quiet moments that we're talking about. But when you do, it is nice to see that they are just going about their daily lives together. And who knows, maybe, you know, they do get sick of them throwing their laundry on the floor and not in the hamper, or leaving wet towels somewhere, or the little shit, you know, where you're just like,
we're both getting a little personal here, folks.
Thankfully, my husband has gotten a lot better, and sometimes, I'll be honest, I'm the husband in the relationship when it comes to picking up after myself, particularly laundry. I'm sorry.
Hey, at least you admit it, though.
I know I am a problem. Granted, my problem lies in I don't do my laundry as often as I should. So it kind of just piles up until I literally wear everything in my closet, and then I have a mountain of laundry. And I'm like, oh no.
That is the best way to make sure you're utilizing every single piece of clothing you have.
The only thing I am literally not wearing at this point is my sweaters. Like my sweaters and my hoodies. Because it is literally like 80, 89, 90 degrees outside. Like way too hot to be wearing them. I would be dying. But I'm wearing everything else, so everything is getting worn. So maybe it's not a flaw.
You cannot be flawed, Nicole. That is not possible.
I am perfect. Do you not understand?
You are.
I
are.
I am the most perfect human being on earth.
I will stand by that with my whole heart.
I may cry a lot, okay, but that's not a problem.
That's part of the perfection.
Yes.
Anyways,
so
yeah, the quiet moments, like you said, when you're doing an epic fantasy, you may not have a whole lot of quiet moments. I did try to put some in to Fire Magic to build the relationships between, say, Brenna and Carrie, or Brenna and Keen, or the brothers, or between Brenna and Druce.
Yeah.
So even when you're in a big epic fantasy adventure, they still gotta eat, they still gotta make their meal, they still gotta put their horses away for the night, they still have to camp out. Like, there's a reason that Baldur's Gate 3 lets you go and talk to each of your companions at the end of the day and at the beginning of the day.
Yeah.
Because it's, even the game designers are like, the quiet moments.
Yeah. And for the love of God, if you're writing high fantasy, please make them bathe. I don't care if they're in a river. I don't care if it's under a waterfall. I don't care if they just found a pot of water. Please make them bathe. Because you know they be stinky. Um,
Just walking across the river, just dunk yourself for a good 30 seconds, then keep going.
yep. Um, also, there are enemies. Writing the chemistry between enemies can make your book stand out amongst others. Because if you can have a good your cat, I'm so sorry. The cat is
I'm,
just if
I'm
you're
trying to
not
ignore the cat.
I know, if you're not watching, her cat is literally just jumping up onto her and on her desk because they want attention. The mascot
And,
today is Shadow, the cat.
and I have a scratch this big on my leg right now from the last time they jumped up. So I'm not feeling very forgiving tonight.
That I 100%
There's
agree
actually
with that.
two scratches, and that's just the longer one.
Yeah. But also, getting back to what we were talking about, enemies. If you can get good chemistry between the hero or your main character and the protagonist, no, protagonist and antagonist, there we go. Or whatever. If you can get good chemistry there, that can make a story so much more interesting than just I'm here to kill you because you're the bad guy. If you can give them chemistry, oh, that people eat that up.
And one of the easiest ways to do this is to have them have a relationship before they became enemies. There's a
Mhm.
reason people are like, ooh, lovers to enemies, ooh, friends to enemies. I mean,
Mhm.
having those shared experiences back, and popular example that I can think of is I don't remember what season of Buffy it was, but it was a season that Willow went evil. She was the big bad at the end of the season. She did flay a guy. I mean,
Oh my god.
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I have to
But
rewatch Buffy.
it was the relationship between her and Xander that allowed her to come back from the quote unquote dark side. I think she should have stayed evil, but that's just my opinion. But they were utilizing and leveraging that relationship because he had known her since they were children.
Mhm.
So having that chemistry, like I said, that is a standard way of doing it. I'm not going to say it's an
Mhm.
easy way of doing it, but it is a standard way of doing it. There are many, many paths fraud down that way of examples of that for you to look for.
Yeah.
Um, but maybe there's some kind of chemistry between them, academic rivals.
Yeah.
Maybe they hated each other from the minute they met each other.
There's that. Could you I mean, when people are pit against each other, especially in like academic situations, and it's like you're always just neck and neck and who's the smarter person or who has the better grade or who gets the awards or achievements or the recognition. Oh man, that could just really get to you. You want
Oh,
me. You want to pet me. Meanwhile,
oh.
I have Void Dog sitting right here.
Um, but as another way to kind of create the chemistry between two characters is by forcing them together through outside circumstances. So, like we said, in academia,
Yeah.
you are being pushed together by being in a class together. Sorry.
You're good.
I drank some carbonated beverages before I came to the podcast. Um,
Indeed.
anyway, uh, so having it's hard to have the big bad suddenly become enemies with your protagonist if they've never known each other, if they don't have any idea who the other person is. Even in fire magic, technically Kira doesn't know Brenna, but she knows
Mhm.
of Brenna. She knows her reputation. She knows of her
Yeah.
history in the war. She's not a complete unknown factor.
Yeah.
So,
That's true. Also, it isn't necessarily that they have to have a past. It could just be maybe your character did something that unintentionally affected this character in a negative light. and they didn't know it. Because the smallest actions could trigger someone's awful day, and you would be none the wiser. And then next thing you know, you're on their kill list. Like,
Charles engaged. I'm not saying it was a
yeah.
small accidental
Oh,
action,
yeah.
but it definitely escalated further than what Charles anticipated.
Yeah. Like, he decided he wanted to get him kicked out of school by changing his school record, that he got kicked out for plagiarism. And that he didn't know that his parents would disown him and kick him out and all this stuff. So it's like that one action of getting him kicked out of school just ruined the dude's life. And that didn't sit well with him. So shit happens.
Yes, shit does indeed happen.
So I think at that point, was there anything else you wanted to say on enemies, or?
Nope.
All right. Yeah. So on to our witchy tip. Since we're talking about chemistry, and I will also say, chemistry doesn't always mean good chemistry. Sometimes that's bad. And for our witchy tip, we decided protection against psychic vampires would be what we would talk about. Because these are people that will try to create chemistry with you to suck the life out of you, at least energy wise.
That's true.
So there are certain ways that you can protect yourself. First would be carrying certain crystals. There are certain crystals that you can use that are great for protection and clarity and warding off negativity or negative entities, which I would consider a psychic vampire a negative entity, whether they're a person or not.
Right.
So there are certain crystals, and you can use things like charms or talismans. So maybe there's a certain pendant that you have blessed and cleansed and done all the stuff to, that you wear to protect yourself from. All kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah,
sorry, Void Dog is here. So if you want to take the rest.
I see that. And like you said, certain crystals naturally, even without you having to put intent into them, they naturally have those qualities to them. So if you're looking for protection crystals, I don't know what they are off the top of my head. Don't ask me. Look it up.
Smoky quartz would be a good one for protection. Okay. Yeah.
The one that I'm most familiar with that ironically does show up in my writing is binding intentions into a braid. So if you have long hair, this is one way to kind of form protection around yourself. And the braid kind of sucks in that bad energy. And then you can just take it and undo it and wash it, and washes all that energy away. So it's confined to that one piece of your hair to protect you, versus just kind of, this is really bad considering from two smut writers, splashed all over you.
No, not splashed all over you. Oh no. Oh jeez. Yeah. There's also go ahead.
I was just gonna say colors. There's a reason a lot of witches wear black. You can put it to either way. You can treat it like a braid where it's sucking in and protecting it from actually touching your skin. Then you can take the clothes off later and wash them off. Or you can treat the black as kind of a reflective shield or barrier. It kind of depends on just what your intent with it is and how you are channeling that protection for yourself.
Yeah. Also in the vein of that, also a lot of people that veil also using it as a form of protection, as well as different fragrances. Certain fragrances and oils have protective qualities that you can wear on a daily basis to protect yourself from psychic vampires, because your energy is precious and you can't have someone just sucking the life out of you. And if you ever are with someone and you feel great that day, and then you hang out with them, and then you feel like absolute shit, and you're just drained, and you're tired, and your social battery is dead. Probably a psychic vampire. And some people don't even realize it that they are, but yeah.
And I know we don't really touch a lot on fragrances in this podcast. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
either of us are huge into using fragrances in any part of the witchcraft, but
Yeah.
there is a large piece that they can play. If you're really into fragrances, be it for using candles, be it using incense, be it using
Mm-hmm.
perfumes or body spray, there's a whole wealth of information out there about
Oh
using
yeah.
fragrances within witchcraft. That's just not something that Nicole and I tend to utilize quite a bit. So
Yeah.
that's why it's not brought up very often.
I mean, aromatherapy is a thing for a reason.
Hmm.
Fragrances are great for that purpose, but also in witchcraft, there's a lot of people that use a lot of fragrances. So definitely look into that if you are someone that is very scent motivated, I guess. Like the scents
Well, I
just
mean,
really not motivated, but like your sensory
hmm
sensory. I don't know. You know what I'm trying
I
to
mean,
say.
yeah, I know what you're saying. But scent memory is one of the strongest memories that we have, to be fair. I know
Yeah.
whenever I smell the smell of fresh cedar, I'm instantly transported back to the barn that I went to college at because we always had fresh cedar for the
Yeah.
stalls. So I'm like, oh, look at the barn. Darn it. No, I'm not.
Yeah. That's it. Well, there's some people that are very sensitive to fragrance. So it like instantly gives them like my mother-in-law cannot do fragrances like at all. Everything in her house is unscented because if not, she has like physical reactions to it. She gets headaches and like her nose stuffs up like crazy. So if you can't, that stinks. Or if you're just someone that really loves things to smell good, because there's those people too. Um, Fragrance is a good protection for, well, good for any spell work, really.
Hmm.
So,
Agreed.
yeah.
Cool.
Sweet. So, now we're going to talk
Excuse me.
about creating tension, not just with the actions that they can do, um, but when you're creating chemistry, sometimes you need to create tension between characters. Whether it is from a background standpoint, maybe one's rich, one is poor, maybe one is from enemy countries and their way of life is completely different. There's different customs, there's different beliefs, there could be different religions, there could be whatever. But creating that tension will ultimately create chemistry between them, and that gives them not necessarily a common ground, but kind of a common ground to come to head with, I guess, in conversations or
Just,
viewpoints. It definitely becomes a topic between them.
yeah, a way for them to connect. And
Yeah.
when we say connect, that doesn't always mean in a good way.
Yeah.
You can connect with someone in a bad way.
Oh, yeah. There are definitely people out there that you look at them and you're just, you've met them, you've talked to them, and you're like, I hope they stub their toe every time they walk near their bed frame. You know, there's definitely those people. And then there's some
Yeah.
people that you're like, you are a wonderful human being. I hope all the good things come to you. You know what I mean? So, yes, chemistry and interactions doesn't always mean positive. It could be negative. Um I'm not sure what you meant by this next point. So,
Which the tension shift.
where you mention industrious versus relaxed,
Oh,
is that just
is
like
someone just their personalities? Maybe
gotcha?
someone
Okay,
is always on the go, on the go, on the go, on the go, has to do something, has to be doing something, can't sit still, versus this other person is just chill. And
you
we are
versus me.
using extremes here. I know, I'm aware. That's what
Yeah,
examples are for, are
yeah.
using extremes to give you an idea of what we mean.
Mm-hmm.
But, that is one way of tension between two characters because it's really hard for that industrious person to really understand how this person can just freaking relax when there's all this shit that has to get done.
Is that how you feel when I'm with me? Because I'm like,
Oh no. No,
well,
no,
that's a
no.
good example though, because that's two very different. Because I don't keep myself nearly as busy as you do, and I am very relaxed in terms of my time. But it
No,
could
that's my
work.
own curse.
But it could work both ways. It could be either a cause of tension and strife between two characters, or it's that I admire the fact that you're able to calm down, to slow down and relax, or I admire the fact that you can fit so much stuff into a day and like get things done. And I'm just like, I don't understand how you do it. I couldn't. Like, I know damn well I would face plant if I tried to do as much stuff as you do in a day, and I would just, I think my brain would explode. So it could be,
Well,
you know, it becomes a thing of admiration instead of strife. So there you go.
I know if I tried to just chill, like I tried to just chill earlier today.
You just can't do it.
I'm like, book, read.
Give me something to do. I can't sit here any longer.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. It's funny because my mother-in-law is the same way. I brought her up twice now, but she always has to stay busy, and I'm like, ma'am, just sit down, just sit down for 20 minutes and just relax. And she's just like, I think I have laundry to do. I think I have to go do this. I'm like,
I think I drove both you and Alex a little nuts to Tennessee because every time you all would just be sitting and chilling, I'm like pacing the floor.
no, that did not bother me because, like I said, I'm used to it with other family members. So I'm just like, do what you got to do, man. I'm just gonna sit here and chill. I'm chilling. But yeah, if you want to cover the next point, because I wasn't entirely sure what you meant by that one either.
So having the tension shift, maybe there's a period of higher tension. Maybe there's some unresolved issue that has just been piling and piling and piling on, and it's getting into a really high tension until they have that breaking point, and then it kind of ebbs a little bit, and they understand
Mm-hmm.
each other a little bit more until the next issue comes along. And that's kind of the ebb and flow of the height of the tension back and forth between the characters. It can get really high tide stacked up. Something happens, some catalyst happens, maybe the person almost dies in a car accident and the other person realized just how much they mean to them and rushed to their bedside. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. Again, extreme examples, I know.
Yeah.
Or maybe there's a huge blowout fight. That's usually the most common catalyst, to be fair,
Yeah.
versus a
That's pretty
life-threatening
common.
event.
Yes.
um but some way for that tension to ebb and flow. And again, that ties right back to what I was saying with the quiet moments, because yes, you come up, you build and you build and you build, you have that climax, that catalyst, and then you slow back down again for a little bit. Give your readers, because again, we are talking about writing, we are not
Yeah.
talking about real life.
No, no, no.
Give your readers time to settle, to process, to absorb, and see what happens after. Because often what happens after a big catalyst is just as interesting as what happens during.
Yeah.
Restoration is a third of the battle.
Mm-hmm. And I would say, and like you said, it doesn't have to be these crazy life threatening events. It could be these little things that they have in common or don't have in common that can slowly build. Like maybe you have a roommate that doesn't like washing their dishes, but you, on the other hand, grew up washing your plate every time you ate. You clean the kitchen after every time you went in there to make food, and your roommate doesn't. And that little bit of tension, that little itty bitty tension slowly grows. Then there's microaggressions. Then there's, being outright rude to someone about doing the dishes. And then there's arguments and fights. And that slowly builds tension. And that also goes with the ebb and flow of everything because it slowly builds. And then you have your blowout and you're going back to it. And a lot of these, if you're writing contemporary or hell, even fantasy, you're going to have bickering matches and you're going to have arguments with people. And those all come down to little small things that you either don't or do have in common. do have in common, that's where you start building your friendships, your romances, those little things that you can connect your characters with. And you can break that just as easily with the things that they don't have in common, or things that they have differing opinions on. Like, let me tell you, the way me and my husband fight over which donut place has the better donuts, it will forever be an argument till the day we die. I am 100% team Krispy Kreme, and he is Dunkin' Donuts all the way. And I'm like,
I
who
don't
did
have
I
a
marry?
stake in that fight, but I will stay behind you all the way.
So the thing is I'm 100% Krispy Kreme, he's Dunkin', but then we all can both agree that the small mom and pop like donut shops are top tier, best donuts you can ever find.
That's
But
fair.
you can't always find those in some of the towns you're in. You know, some of them they only have like the big brands. But yeah, I don't know who
Anyway,
I married at this point. We're like I said, we're just gonna have that fight till the day we die. So, you know, or those little fights could be something you guys your characters laugh about and talk about. You know, I don't know how many times I've met someone where they're like, I didn't like you because I thought you were a bitch. And then we become the best of friends. That is something that can be an ebb and flow situation and tension because they think they perceive someone a certain way and they are the complete opposite.
hmm
Yeah.
I mean, that's why people love enemies to lovers
Yeah.
because of that shift back and forth and the tension and that ebb and flow of they start to get to know each other a little more. So then they start to see they have more things in common or they have similar goals. I'm absolutely disgusted by the glutton of enemies to lovers right now, if you can't tell.
You're like, fuck them.
Yeah,
It's
anyway,
everywhere. But I
it's
mean,
everywhere.
to be fair, it is everywhere. But I feel like a lot of writers aren't doing it justice. I mean, if they're
My problem with it.
yeah, if they're already commenting about how hot they are within the first 5 chapters, I hate them, but they're so hot. Like, nah, that's not how that works. If you hate someone, you hate them. Like, you hate them. You hate the way they look. You hate the way their eyebrows move when they're talking, or everything. So, yeah, I think they're not doing it justice, but that's a conversation for another day. But
We
you
will
did,
have an episode on enemies to lovers now.
we must.
We
Um,
must.
but you did mention that, you know, a lot of the times understanding characters' motivations and goals, those can also determine tension and chemistry is if they're aligned or misaligned. So that can also play a real big part in if your characters are going to brain just shut off mid sentence. Oh god damn. That
If
was
they're going to work together, if they're not going to work together, if they're going to have a relationship building, yeah, being able to agree or disagree, maybe they have similar paths but different goals. Maybe they have similar goals but they take different paths. I mean, there's all kinds of Lego building blocks you could do with this.
mm-hmm.
And because everyone has different goals, everyone has different ways of doing things. No one is 100% exactly the same. Even identical
Yeah.
twins are going to be different because everyone has different experiences. They have
Yeah.
different brain chemistry. They have different. Just the fact that one twin is born before the other makes them different if we're talking about
Yeah.
identical twins. So
Mm-hmm.
there's that.
Yeah. Um Also, I think a big thing with creating chemistry with your characters is the authenticity of your characters. Um, so giving them unique personalities, don't make them flat. Make them a full person, like as if they were standing in front of you, real as anybody else. Giving them full personalities, likes, dislikes, um, giving them those family members, the backstories, the friends, all of those moments and those extra details help create characters that you can eventually learn to understand how they would react to another character and how those interactions will create that chemistry. So make sure you're fully fleshing out your characters in order to get that authenticity with interactions between characters.
It's my turn for my brain to shut down because I just heard more fireworks.
Boom. There goes the
Yeah,
thought.
there goes the
Just
thought.
exploded.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I agree. I mean, and that should be a tenet of whatever you're doing when you're writing is to make your characters fully fleshed out. But that's also where you come into maybe they had a shared experience in the past and they don't know about it till they're talking and they realize that they were in the same place at the same time 20 years ago. Maybe there is a person they didn't realize that they both knew in the past or that is a mutual friend. Um, so making sure to build that background is important is important for the authenticity. That was the cat. Sorry for the growl. That was the cat. Um, it's important for making your characters feel authentic because if they aren't, don't chew on the cord. Sorry.
In typical cat fashion, they turn to petty behavior when they're ignored.
But yes, making your characters authentic and being able to see each other in an authentic way. Like
Mm-hmm.
maybe your character masks really hard and that one person can like see the edges of the mask. They catch when the mask slips. They catch when
Mm-hmm.
someone their eye twitches when someone says a certain thing. They
Yeah.
catch the person tightening their fist when someone else comes near because they can tell they don't. So being able to see the other person authentically is an important part of chemistry and being able to
Yeah.
learn that other person.
Yeah. I think that that's a great example. Um, Especially like when you think a character is doing when one character thinks another character is doing something for one reason, then learns later on it's for a different reason. Like, for example, I know your book hasn't come out yet, but one of your characters is very jumpy around men. He assumes one thing, but later on down the line that it is a different reason. So he starts noticing certain habits or actions that he focuses in on and realizes, okay, she's shutting down. It's time that she goes and relaxes or steps away, or I'm going to ask her if she needs a moment or should we continue. So being able for characters to actually see each other and pick up those cues really helps build the chemistry between them and seeing like you said they're really seeing each other for who they are and why they're doing what they're doing, and that just creates a much deeper bond later on. And I would also say with that, the vulnerability of it, being able to tell another character like, hey, you know, it's hard for people to be vulnerable because it could be used against you. So characters are this going to be similar. You know, it's you do have those characters that wear their heart on their sleeve and they sometimes get taken advantage of often, but it still doesn't let that bother them because they know who they are and they're like, well, that's not a reflection of me, that's a reflection of you. Or you have people that are so walled off that they don't tell anybody about anything that's ever happened to them and they're just a brick house. No one's getting in. So vulnerability can also help build that, not tension. What's the other word?
Relationship.
Relationship, but also the chemistry. There we go.
Chemistry. Did the whole thing the episode's about. Right, got it.
Yeah, the whole episode's about chemistry, but I forgot the word. So yeah, vulnerability will be another really big one. And a lot of the times that's going to happen in those quiet moments of them opening up after everything is said and done. Like those quiet moments when they actually get to just sit and talk to each other is when that vulnerability comes in and that chemistry and that bond starts forming.
And kind of building off of that, that is one reason why enemies to lover is so, I'm not going to say easy, but a path that you can trod down because your enemies see you differently than your friends. They are going to
Mm-hmm.
notice different things because they're looking at you, trying to figure out ways to take you down. They
Mm-hmm.
want to find these flaws in you, but that your friends are like, no, you're perfect, and I can never have a better friend than you, and you're like,
Yeah.
no, I'm a bitch. Um, so, and then also vulnerability.
Yeah.
There is nothing more vulnerable for me personally than a screaming match.
Yeah.
Like, that is when you hear things that people don't like to say out loud. When you
Mm-hmm.
have triggered that person so hard, especially someone that's really quiet, that is
Yeah.
withdrawn, that doesn't like to raise their voice, if you can get them to scream at you, that is a vulnerability.
Yeah.
So it may not just be those little quiet heart to heart felt moments. It may be
Yeah.
them screaming at somebody.
That's a fair
That
point.
is them being vulnerable
Yeah. That's that
because
person
those
that
walls came down.
yeah, that's the person that holds everything in until they literally explode.
Yes.
Yeah. That's me. It's like it's water off a duck's back until it's not. And then
Till
it's
it's
like an
not.
ocean. Until it's
Yeah.
like a raging fucking tsunami coming at you and you're like, that's not water off a duck's back. So yeah. But yes, all of those points in creating, characters authentically will only help build that chemistry between them and ultimately makes your book better. Because
Mhm.
number one thing, you can, even if you write, I don't want to say this is a good thing, but I've read books that have not great, weren't greatly written, or poorly written, but the chemistry between the characters made me keep reading and overlook the mistakes. If you can write good oh my lord. If you can write good chemistry and good characters and a good plot, even if it isn't written the most eloquently or perfectly edited, most people are willing to overlook that if you can write a good story and create that chemistry overall. It's a lot
Mhm.
easier to overlook the problems if that's the case. Not
Yeah.
saying don't edit your books, but
Right. Yeah.
yeah. Make sure you're
True.
editing. So yeah.
Alrighty.
Is that it? I think that's it.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's it.
So that would bring us to book reviews. And again, I'm still reading two 600-page books. Almost 700 page with this one. And I'm about halfway through. So yeah. Not quite there yet. Don't have a book review. I need to start
Okay.
bringing back the novellas.
Novella Queen.
Yes. I gotta bring them back.
I am going to emphatically endorse an indie author. This is her debut novel. Her name is Stephanie G. Olson, and she wrote Still Chosen, Another Unwanted Adventure.
Ooh.
Oh my God, this book cracked me up while still being really heartfelt.
Well, that's good.
So the basic premise is that Phoebe saved the world when she turned 16. At 16-year-old, she saved the world and she died to save the world. They brought her back, made her queen. Now, this is 20 years later. Her little magical animal companion has shown back up and said, guess what? You're still the chosen one. Let's go. Save the world again. And she's like, excuse the fuck out of me. I did that once. Not doing it again. He's like, nope. That's the thing about being the chosen one. You never stop being the chosen one. It is hilarious. I love that it's a 36-year-old protagonist who has been in the palace for 20 years that lost the love of her life because of something else that happened. She's lost friends along the way. Like, she has to go find new companions for her to join her on this journey. She has to pick up old companions to join her on this journey. She has to realize that some people have moved on with their lives while she hasn't been allowed to move on with hers. She has to find love again, which I thoroughly appreciated that she was treated as an adult. And while there was no smut, I could have definitely used the
Oh,
smut, Stephanie. I'm just saying. Um, it was
God damn it,
very
Stephanie.
explicitly made clear that they were sleeping together. So that was nice. Like literally at the end of the book, she's like, "Well, I know he's waiting for me in the bed, but I just have to go to this one last thing first," and it was important, so I forgave her for that. Um,
I will say it's got a high rating on Goodreads.
yes,
It's got a
I'm one of those that
4.25.
threw a 5 star at it. So I've already reviewed this on Leo's book review page. I am reviewing it again because it was that good. So go buy it. A beautiful cover, by the way.
Yeah,
No AI. She shared in progress photos on her Instagram of this being painted,
love that.
hand painted cover. Also book accurate. That is their magical animal companion on the front cover,
Yes, I love it when they're accurate with the actual
right?
cover.
So yeah, Still Chosen, another unwanted adventure by Stephanie G. Olson. Hi, if you love epic fantasy, you're gonna love this. Um, if you are someone in their 30s that's like wise and always the teenager saving the world, you will love this.
I will be picking it up.
Yes. So definitely suggest it. I don't know if it's an audiobook or not.
I
I want to
mean,
say it's just ebook and hard copy though.
well, let's look it up.
But yeah, definitely yeah, it's really really good and it is staying in my library. So,
Yes, I do not think there is an audiobook,
okay.
unfortunately.
So, unfortunately no audiobook, but worth picking up for certain. Even if you don't want to pick up the physical book, pick up the ebook. Support indie authors.
Yes, absolutely. Um, so next episode, which I know I'm jumping a little bit ahead, but I normally forget. So next episode will be fan fiction versus original fiction. But yes, that brings us to the end of this episode. So you can find us at writingwithwitches@gmail.com. Not Gmail. Writingwithwitches.com. I'm sorry. You can email us at writingwithwitches@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and Blue Sky as Writing with Witches. And we also have a Discord server, Writing with Witches. Um, you can find me on all the aforementioned social medias as author Nicole Autumn, except Instagram. It'll be Nicole Autumn, author, because Instagram didn't like the author in the beginning. So I also have my personal website that is author Nicole Autumn, where you can sign up for my newsletter and you can get all the juicy details about everything. And yeah, all of that will be linked below. Leona?
You can find me at my website, leonaurbanskiauthor.com, or Substack apparently changed the URL. It is now substack.com/@leonaurbanski author. So take that as you will. It's in my link tree. Go to my link tree. You'll find it there. You're going to mainly find me on Facebook and Instagram as Leona Urbanski author. You're going to find both of us at mythweaverbooks.com. And we are also on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok with Mythweaver Books. You can go to the website. You can buy our books. You can buy our merch. You can sign up for newsletters. You can sign up to be an ARC reader,
Yes,
which we
do
need.
that.
We want you to be an ARC reader.
Yes.
Join up. Um,
Yeah,
I
'cause the
never
first
went
one.
down from my energy high, did I?
You did not. Yeah. But ARC readers, we are looking for ARC readers right now for Fey Touch. So be sure to sign up. Or if you just want to be a general ARC reader for any of our upcoming releases, just sign up as a regular ARC reader and you will be one of the first to get emailed about upcoming ARC opportunities. So, yeah. Fun stuff.
Also, um, just so you know, Our short stories come out the last Monday of the month, or is it the last day of the month?
The
I
last
don't
day of the
remember.
month.
Okay, so next week, new short story for July from Writing with Witches. We have started those up again. Go catch back up.
Yeah. We've already released 2 since we've started back up again. Yeah.
Mhm.
So 2 from each of us. So that's a total of 4 short stories that you could read that keeps you busy. And we are still slowly releasing the audios of these on YouTube. So if you go to Mythweaver Books YouTube channel, you can listen to these. So you can listen to us read you a story while you're cleaning
Mhm.
or doing dishes, or cooking dinner.
Yeah,
So yeah.
exactly.
And they're
Little
free.
bite-sized, little bite-sized stories.
Yes. So, I think that brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you all for watching and or listening, and we hope you have a wonderful week. Talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.